What if everything you've been taught about success is wrong? We've all heard the same advice: follow your passion, stay motivated, success comes to those who wait. But what if I told you that these mantras, as comforting as they sound, might actually be holding you back? Imagine for a moment that the real key to achieving your dreams isn't about finding motivation or chasing after your passion. What if the true secret lies in doing the things you don't feel like doing? It's a controversial idea, I know. But stick with me. In the next few minutes, I'm going to flip your perspective on success upside down. You'll discover why relying on passion is a dangerous trap, how motivation is nothing more than a fleeting emotion, and why mastering the mundane might just be your shortcut to success. Curious? You should be. Because once you understand these principles, you'll start seeing results faster than you ever thought possible. No more waiting for the right moment, no more chasing after that elusive spark. It's time to break free from the myths that are holding you back and unlock the true potential that lies within you. Ready to challenge everything you thought you knew? Let's dive in. Imagine this: you wake up on a cold, grey morning. The kind where your bed is the only place that feels like home, and the thought of getting up feels like climbing a mountain. Your mind is foggy, and every fiber of your being screams for more rest. But you have a goal, a commitment, something you promised yourself or someone else. And it's in that exact moment, a moment we've all experienced, that you're faced with the ultimate test of character, one that will define your success more than any other skill or talent. It's the ability to do things when you simply don't feel like doing them. Let's be real, motivation is overrated. That's right. The truth is, motivation is a fleeting emotion, here today and gone tomorrow. It's easy to act when you're pumped up, inspired, or passionate. But what happens when that fire fades? What happens on those days when you just don't feel it? The answer lies in the most underrated yet powerful skill anyone can develop: the discipline to do things, even when you don't want to. This is not just another life hack, it's the cornerstone of success, the silent engine behind every achievement, every victory. This is the real, unfiltered truth. In a world obsessed with quick fixes and instant gratification, we've been sold a lie that success is all about passion, that it's about waking up every day with a burning desire. But let me tell you, the true champions, the real success stories, are not the ones who rely on motivation. They are the ones who have trained themselves to take action despite their emotions, who push forward even when their mind and body say, "Not today." Here's why this skill is so critical: life doesn't care about your feelings. The world keeps spinning whether you're in the mood to keep up or not. Your goals, your dreams, they don't care if you're tired, uninspired, or overwhelmed. The deadline won't move, the opportunity won't wait, and the competition won't slow down. But what if you could rise above that? What if you could train yourself to push through the mental barriers, to do what needs to be done, regardless of how you feel? That, my friends, is the key to unlocking a level of success that most people never reach. This isn't about being robotic or suppressing your emotions. It's about mastering them. It's about recognizing that your feelings are just that, feelings. They are temporary, they fluctuate, and they do not define your actions unless you let them. The real power lies in separating what you need to do from how you feel about doing it. When you master this, you become unstoppable. No setback can derail you, no bad day can throw you off course, because you've built the mental toughness to keep moving forward, no matter what. Consider this: every time you push through that resistance, every time you do something when you don't feel like it, you're not just completing a task, you're training your mind. You're building a habit, a muscle that gets stronger with each repetition. And just like physical exercise, the more you do it, the easier it becomes. Eventually, it's no longer a struggle, it's just what you do. You become the kind of person who acts, regardless of circumstances. You become the person who gets things done, not because it's easy, but because you've developed the discipline to do it anyway. This isn't just about success in the traditional sense: career, money, fame. It's about every area of your life. Think about your relationships, your health, your personal growth. How many times have you avoided a tough conversation because you didn't feel like dealing with the conflict? How many workouts have you skipped because you just weren't in the mood? How many opportunities have you missed because you let a moment of discomfort hold you back? Now imagine the opposite. Imagine being the person who has that conversation, who shows up for that workout, who seizes every opportunity because you've trained yourself to act regardless of how you feel. That's power. That's freedom. And here's the kicker: the more you practice this skill, the less you'll rely on motivation altogether. You'll start to realize that the hardest part is simply getting started, and once you do, momentum takes over. It's like jumping into a cold pool. The anticipation is worse than the reality. But once you're in, you adapt, you adjust, and before you know it, you're swimming with ease. The same principle applies to any task you face. The resistance you feel before starting is temporary, but the rewards of pushing through are lasting. So, the next time you're lying in bed, staring at the ceiling, dreading the day ahead, remember this: success is not about how you feel in the moment. It's about what you do, regardless of those feelings. It's about developing the habit of action, the discipline of execution. This is the ultimate skill in life, the ability to do things when you don't feel like doing them. Master this, and you'll find that success is not just possible, it's inevitable. We've all heard it before: just find your motivation. It's a mantra that echoes through self-help books, motivational speeches, and social media posts. But here's a shocking truth that may just flip your perspective on its head: motivation is a trap. Yes, you heard that right. Relying on motivation is one of the biggest mistakes you can make if you're serious about achieving anything worthwhile in life. Think about it. Motivation is often presented as this magical force, a kind of inner spark that will propel you toward your goals. But what happens when that spark fizzles out, as it inevitably does? The reality is, motivation is a fleeting emotion. It's unreliable, inconsistent, and far too dependent on external circumstances. You might feel motivated today, but what about tomorrow? Or the day after? What happens when life throws a curveball, when you're stressed, tired, or just not in the mood? If you're waiting for motivation to show up, you might be waiting forever. Here's where the counterintuitive truth comes in: the most successful people in the world don't wait for motivation. They act without it. They've learned that relying on motivation is like building a house on sand: unstable, unpredictable, and likely to collapse when the first storm hits. Instead, they focus on something much more powerful: discipline. Discipline is the solid foundation that keeps you moving forward, no matter the weather. It's time to stop glorifying motivation and start seeing it for what it really is: a nice bonus, but not something you should depend on. The real magic happens when you embrace discipline, when you learn to show up and do the work, even when every part of you is screaming to stop. This isn't about pushing yourself to the brink of exhaustion or ignoring your needs. It's about cultivating a mindset where action isn't dictated by fleeting feelings, but by a commitment to your goals, to your future self. Consider this analogy: motivation is like a friend who's fun to be around when things are going well, but disappears the moment things get tough. Discipline, on the other hand, is the friend who's always there, reliable and steady, showing up even when you don't feel like it. Which one would you rather have by your side when you're facing a challenge? Which one do you think is more likely to help you achieve your dreams? The most successful athletes, entrepreneurs, artists, and leaders in the world aren't necessarily the ones who feel motivated all the time. In fact, many of them will tell you that they often don't feel motivated at all. What sets them apart is their ability to push through the lack of motivation, to keep going when others would quit. They've trained themselves to act, regardless of how they feel, because they know that motivation is a fair-weather friend, while discipline is a loyal companion for life. Here's the hard truth: if you're waiting to feel motivated, you're setting yourself up for failure. Motivation is fickle. It's influenced by countless factors beyond your control: your mood, the weather, how much sleep you got last night. But discipline? Discipline is within your control. It's a choice you make every day, every moment. It's deciding that your goals are more important than your temporary discomfort. It's choosing to act in alignment with your values, your vision, and your long-term aspirations, rather than your current emotional state. And here's the best part: the more you practice discipline, the less you'll need motivation. That's the irony of it all. As you build the habit of taking action, regardless of how you feel, you'll find that you actually start to feel more motivated over time. But this motivation isn't the unreliable kind that comes and goes. It's a deeper, more sustained drive that comes from knowing you're capable of overcoming obstacles, from seeing the progress you've made through sheer willpower and determination. So, the next time you're tempted to skip that workout, to procrastinate on that project, or to avoid that difficult conversation, don't wait for motivation to strike. Instead, remind yourself that motivation is a trap, a seductive but unreliable guide that will lead you astray more often than not. Choose discipline instead. Choose to take action, not because you feel like it, but because you've decided that your goals are worth it. Choose to be the person who gets things done, no matter what. Because at the end of the day, success isn't about feeling motivated. It's about building the discipline to do what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. And that, my friends, is where real, lasting success is born. Let's play a little mind game for a moment. Picture your current understanding of success, everything you've been taught, everything you believe about what it takes to succeed. Now, what if I told you that most of what you know is wrong? That the traditional wisdom, the conventional advice, the well-meaning tips you've followed all your life might actually be leading you away from the very success you crave? It's a bold statement, isn't it? But stay with me, because by the end of this, you might just see things in a whole new light. We're bombarded with messages about what success is supposed to look like. Work hard, follow your passion, stay motivated, hustle every day. These are the pillars of success we've been taught to build our lives on. But what if these are just half-truths? What if the real secret to success lies in something far less glamorous, something so counterintuitive that it's been overlooked by most people? Let me take you behind the curtain, into the world of those who have truly mastered success, people who've built empires, transformed industries, or left an indelible mark on the world. These individuals didn't just follow the crowd, they discovered something crucial that many overlook. Success isn't about motivation, passion, or even hard work alone. It's about something much simpler, yet infinitely more challenging: consistency. Consistency in doing the right things, over and over again, even when they're boring, uncomfortable, or downright painful. Here's where curiosity comes in. What if you stopped chasing motivation and instead focused on mastering the mundane? What if you embraced the unsexy truth that success often comes down to doing the same thing, day in and day out, long after the initial excitement has worn off? This is the real secret, the hidden key that separates the dreamers from the doers. Let me ask you this: how many times have you started something with enthusiasm, only to abandon it when it got tough, when it stopped being fun, or when you no longer felt inspired? We've all been there. But what if those moments were the exact points where success was closest, where most people give up, but the few who push through find the rewards? The irony is that the path to success is often littered with tasks that are anything but exciting: early mornings, late nights, repetitive actions, and countless moments where you question why you're even bothering. Yet, it's precisely these moments that forge the resilience, the grit, and the unshakable confidence that define true success. Think about it this way: what if the real challenge isn't finding your passion or staying motivated, but rather learning to embrace the grind? To find joy in the process, not just the outcome. What if the key to unlocking your full potential is less about how much you can achieve in bursts of inspiration and more about how long you can sustain effort when the novelty wears off? Here's a fascinating thought: what if success isn't about doing more, but about doing less, less quitting, less switching, less chasing shiny objects, and more sticking with the fundamentals, mastering the basics, and refining your craft? This isn't the advice you'll see plastered across social media or shouted from the rooftops, but it's the truth that underlies every great achievement. It's not sexy, it's not headline-worthy, but it's the reality that high achievers know all too well. The more you explore this idea, the more you start to see the flaws in the traditional narrative. We're taught to celebrate the wins, the big moments, the achievements. But the real success stories are written in the quiet hours, in the unseen moments of perseverance, in the daily choices to keep going when there's no applause, no recognition, no immediate payoff. So, what if you redefined your approach to success? What if you stopped looking for shortcuts and started valuing the long game? What if you understood that the true battle isn't external? It's not about competing with others or proving yourself to the world, but internal, about mastering your own mind, your own habits, your own resistance. This might just be the most liberating realization of all: success doesn't require you to be superhuman. It doesn't demand that you feel motivated every day or that you love every moment of the journey. It asks for something much simpler, yet far more profound: your consistency, your commitment to show up every day, no matter what. That's it. That's the secret that's been hiding in plain sight. So, as you go forward, I challenge you to shift your focus. Stop searching for motivation, stop waiting for inspiration, and start cultivating consistency. Embrace the mundane, the repetitive, the boring, because that's where success is truly found. What if everything you knew about success was wrong? Now you know it just might be. And with this new perspective, imagine what you could achieve. We live in a world that craves quick results. Everyone wants the fastest route, the secret hack, the one thing that will catapult them to success overnight. But here's the twist: the shortcut to success isn't what you think it is. It's not some mysterious formula hidden away in the vaults of the ultra-successful. No, it's something much simpler, and once you understand it, you'll realize that success might be closer than you ever imagined. Imagine this scenario: you've got a goal in mind, something big that you've been dreaming about for a while. Maybe it's starting a business, getting in shape, or learning a new skill. The problem? It feels overwhelming, like a mountain you're not sure you can climb. So, what do most people do? They procrastinate, waiting for the right moment, the perfect plan, or a surge of motivation. But what if I told you there's a way to bypass all that? A way to start seeing results faster than you ever thought possible. The secret lies in a concept so powerful, yet so underutilized, that it might just be the quickest path to success you've been searching for: the power of microactions. That's right, the smallest, seemingly insignificant steps you can take today, right now, without any grand plan or perfect conditions. These tiny actions are the true shortcut to success because they do two things incredibly well: they build momentum, and they create quick wins. Here's why microactions are so effective. When you break down your big goal into the smallest possible steps, you remove the intimidation factor. Suddenly, that huge mountain you were facing shrinks down to a manageable size. Instead of focusing on reaching the summit, you're just taking the next step, and then the next, and before you know it, you've covered more ground than you ever thought possible. The magic of microactions is that they are so easy to start. Let's say you want to write a book. The thought of writing 300 pages is overwhelming, but what if you focused on just writing one sentence today? One sentence, that's it. It sounds almost too easy, right? But here's the catch: once you start, that one sentence often turns into a paragraph, then a page, and then maybe even a chapter. The key is that you've tricked your brain into starting, and that's the hardest part. But the benefits don't stop there. These microactions lead to quick rewards, small victories that fuel your motivation and build your confidence. Each tiny step you take reinforces your belief that you're making progress, that you're moving closer to your goal. And as these small wins accumulate, they create a snowball effect, turning into a powerful force that propels you forward faster than any grand plan or burst of inspiration ever could. Let's be clear, this isn't about lowering your standards or settling for less. It's about understanding that success isn't a single event or a one-time achievement. It's a series of small, consistent actions that, over time, lead to massive results. By focusing on microactions, you're not taking a shortcut in the traditional sense of the word, you're hacking the process, making it easier and faster to reach your goals by capitalizing on the power of momentum and quick wins. Consider this: what if instead of setting a goal to run a marathon, you set a goal to run for just 5 minutes today? What if instead of planning to overhaul your entire diet, you simply decided to drink an extra glass of water? These microactions may seem insignificant on their own, but they're incredibly powerful when they're part of a larger, consistent effort. And here's the best part: they're achievable. You can do them right now, with no special preparation, no perfect conditions, no waiting. And the rewards come quickly. You feel good because you've done something, even if it's small. That feeling of accomplishment is a reward in itself, and it motivates you to keep going. The more you do it, the more you want to do it. It's like a positive feedback loop that keeps you on the path to success, even when the journey gets tough. So, the next time you're staring down a big goal and feeling overwhelmed, remember this: you don't need to climb the whole mountain today. You just need to take the next step. Find the smallest possible action you can take right now and do it. Then do it again tomorrow, and the day after. These microactions are your shortcut, your quick win strategy, your secret weapon for achieving success faster than you ever thought possible. Success isn't about waiting for the perfect moment or relying on fleeting bursts of motivation. It's about starting small, starting now, and letting those tiny actions build into something big. The sooner you embrace this, the sooner you'll start seeing results. And trust me, those quick rewards will taste even sweeter when you realize how easy they were to achieve. Passion. It's the buzzword that's been ingrained into our minds as the golden ticket to success. Follow your passion, they say, and you'll never work a day in your life. It's a comforting idea, isn't it? The notion that if you just find that one thing you're deeply passionate about, everything else will fall into place. But what if I told you that this advice, as popular as it is, might actually be holding you back? What if passion isn't the ultimate key to success, but rather a potential trap that could derail your journey before it even begins. It's a bold statement, I know. After all, we've been conditioned to believe that passion is everything. But let's dig a little deeper. The problem with passion is that it's often seen as this magical, all-encompassing force that will drive you forward no matter what. But here's the uncomfortable truth: passion, by itself, is not enough. In fact, it can even be dangerous if you let it blind you to the realities of what it takes to achieve true success. Here's why. Passion is an emotion, and like all emotions, it's subject to change. It's easy to feel passionate about something when things are going well, when you're in the honeymoon phase of a new venture, or when the road ahead looks clear and exciting. But what happens when you hit a rough patch? When the excitement wears off and all that's left is the hard work, the grind, the setbacks. This is where the "follow your passion" advice starts to unravel. Passion, in its purest form, is fleeting. It's a high that comes and goes, and if you rely solely on it to drive your actions, you're setting yourself up for a rollercoaster of highs and lows. You'll be motivated one day and demotivated the next, constantly chasing that elusive feeling of excitement. But success doesn't work like that. Success requires consistency, perseverance, and the willingness to push through even when the passion fades. Think about it: how many times have you started something with enthusiasm, only to abandon it when the initial excitement wore off? Maybe it was a new hobby, a side project, or even a career path. At first, it felt like the perfect fit, your passion, your calling. But then, the reality of what it takes to succeed set in. The late nights, the early mornings, the endless hours of practice or study. And suddenly, that passion didn't seem so strong anymore. This is where passion can betray you. It can make you believe that if you're not constantly excited, constantly driven, then you're on the wrong path. But the truth is, every worthwhile pursuit comes with its fair share of challenges, and those challenges are often anything but exciting. They're tough, grueling, and sometimes downright boring. But they're necessary. And if you're too focused on chasing passion, you might miss out on the most important ingredient for success: resilience. Resilience is what keeps you going when passion fades. It's the ability to stick with something, not because you're always passionate about it, but because you're committed to seeing it through. It's understanding that the real reward comes not from the initial excitement, but from the satisfaction of overcoming obstacles, mastering your craft, and achieving something meaningful over time. Here's another controversial idea: what if, instead of following your passion, you focused on becoming really good at something? What if you chose to invest your time and energy into a skill, a craft, or a profession, not because it's your greatest passion, but because it has the potential to lead to mastery, fulfillment, and success? The funny thing is, passion often follows mastery. The better you get at something, the more you start to enjoy it. The more you enjoy it, the more passionate you become. But this passion is different. It's not the fleeting excitement of something new, it's the deep satisfaction of knowing you've put in the work, honed your skills, and achieved something worthwhile. So, if passion isn't the magic bullet we've been led to believe, what is? The answer lies in purpose. Purpose is what gives your efforts meaning, what makes the hard work worth it even when the passion isn't there. It's the deeper reason behind what you do, the impact you want to have, the legacy you want to leave. Purpose is stable, enduring, and it doesn't waver with your mood or circumstances. It's what keeps you grounded when passion is nowhere to be found. In the end, passion is a wonderful thing, but it's not the foundation of success. It's a luxury, not a necessity. What you need to build your life on is something stronger: discipline, resilience, purpose. These are the qualities that will carry you through the tough times, that will keep you moving forward when passion alone would let you down. So, the next time you hear someone tell you to follow your passion, take a moment to think critically about what that really means. Ask yourself if passion alone is enough to get you where you want to go, or if it might be time to dig deeper, to focus on something more enduring. Because success isn't about chasing the highs, it's about building something that lasts. And for that, you need more than passion, you need purpose, perseverance, and the willingness to do the work, even when the excitement has long since faded.